campus of Chapmanville High School for high school softball. Tonight, the Wyoming East Lady Warriors will take on the Chapmanville Lady Tigers in the premiere of Chapmanville Lady Tiger softball on WVOW. Bill Lusk with you alongside my color broadcasting partner Daniel Miller. And Daniel, spring break, many teams, the baseball down at the beach, man softball off until Saturday. Chapmanville boys back in action later today against Lincoln County, and Logan out at Sherman. So despite there being no school, all these county teams are gearing up and looking ahead to the stretch run.
Yeah, spring break couldn't come at a better time for the county schools. I wish I was on spring break, but I'm here working, and I'm glad to be working, honestly. But yeah, this is our first look. We get to see the Chapmanville Lady Tigers softball team. We've already seen Man. We've already seen Logan. I'm excited to watch Chapmanville today as they take on the Lady Warriors of Wyoming East. And if this keeps it up, Chapmanville can make a good run, Bill, and we could be seeing a lot more of them down the road.
Yeah, this is the first of 3 consecutive broadcasts that we'll have for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers. Of course, it starts tonight here with Wyoming East. We will have them Tuesday evening on the island over at Logan B. Orr Field as they take on the number 2 rated Logan Wildcats. And then next Monday, April the 10th, we will have them when they make the journey south to Man to take on the Lady Hillbillies of Man. So we'll get a good look at all 3 county softball teams over the next week.
Yeah, this is going to be excited week to see softball in action. We're going to see Logan, Chapmanville later on this week. Today we get our first look at Chapmanville, and from what I can tell, the softball is very rich down here in the Logan area, especially with Chapmanville, Man, and Logan always having great teams. Logan is actually the big surprise this year, having a bounce back. They're rated number 2 this year. Man, they're led by their superstar Morgan Cooper, who's always proved to be a dominant force for the Hillbillies, with them competing to try to get to the state tournament in softball. And for Chapmanville, they're led by just rich history here, and they're looking to try to knock out Logan and Scott, along with Mingo and Wayne, to get to the regionals to probably either play a good either Winfield, Nitro, or maybe a Sissonville team. So this is a very well-balanced region with all the teams that are in it, and mostly majority Cardinal Conference teams. The first step for Chapmanville is to get that far is they got to win their section, and it could start here tonight with adding a win to the column and help their seeding rankings.
They've already played 3 teams. Well, actually, they got Mingo Central, too. I do believe they got that game in. So they've played 4 teams, 2 in the section, 2 in the region. They're 2-2, having defeated Mingo Central, and then they defeated the Nitro Wildcats last week at Nitro, and that was the last game that these Chapmanville Lady Tigers played. They lost to Winfield 6-1 in a game that was primarily a 2-1 contest throughout that contest, where Winfield was able to break it open with 4 runs late, and then they lost a heartbreaker to the Lady Skyhawks on the final at bat. Chapmanville fell behind early, came back with a 6-7 run 7th inning, tied the ball game before losing it on a walk-off in the bottom half of the inning. So these Lady Tigers they've played a tough schedule as always. Cardinal Conference, one of the toughest conferences in softball, in baseball, football, basketball. I'm sure if they had a hockey league, they'd probably be tough in it as well. So no gimme, no slouches. Then you look at your non-conference schedule with this one tonight, and of course games with Man and Sherman, teams that are the teams that have got to the state tournament before and have a rich softball history. So nothing easy for this Tiger team when you look at the schedule.
Yeah, nothing's easy. And you already just mentioned off two teams that Scott already beaten, was Chapmanville and Logan, so Scott would have the upper edge advantage, but Chapmanville's not going to let that get in their way. They're going to continue fighting, whether it's against sectional opponents or non-sectional opponents. And right now you got a AA Wyoming East team in girls basketball who just won the AA state title, and from what I'm looking at most of their rosters, they got a lot of some of the girls that played on that basketball team on this softball team. So Wyoming East is just rich in women's sports right now, and hopefully it can carry over to the Diamond. And Chapmanville's got to know that there's going to be no easy contest for either whoever they play. Even if the team's probably winless, they still wouldn't count it as an easy game. They don't look past nobody, and that is due to the head coaching that they've had here for a very long time. Never look past any opponent. You always got to respect your opponent, no matter who you are and what your record is.
What we're doing, we'll step aside for a quick 2-minute timeout. We'll come back. We'll continue to preview tonight's Wyoming East Chapmanville softball game. You're listening to Chapmanville Lady Tiger softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field on the campus of Chapmanville High School for high school softball. The Wyoming East Lady Warriors, a record of 5-3, taking on the Chapmanville Lady Tigers with a record of 3-2. Bill Lusk with you alongside my color broadcast partner Daniel Miller. And Daniel, while we got a few minutes here, I think we're waiting on the umpires to conduct the meetings between the two teams and last-minute field preparations as the Lady Tigers look for a win here. That would be their second consecutive win and get to 4-2. And you mentioned it would be, even though it's not a sectional or regional opponent that would, determine the seeding of possibly the sectional tournament, but still it's a team that, a win that could propel them to the top of the seedings should Logan, Scott, and Chapmanville all split regular season meetings.
Yeah, every win matters when it comes to baseball, especially season. But there is that times where teams don't have good records that end up making a deep run in the late postseason and end up getting far. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times. I've seen it once in my high school life that a team that only had 2 wins on the season made a run in the sectional, won their section, made it all the way to Game 3 in Double-A, but they lost on a walk-off hit by a pitch. I can't remember which team that was actually that did that, but it just says baseball is just like basketball. Anything happens, and you can't. But for teams that are wanting to maintain, see where they're at, and see what they got to bring up to this upcoming season, what they can take in the postseason, every game matters, no matter who it is on the schedule.
Well, most of those teams, when you talk about, you want to go back to the baseball side of things, one of those teams I do realize, the Van Bulldogs back in the 80s and the 90s and even into the 2000s, they would enter the regional tournament with a losing record and would actually get to Charleston with a losing record. And it's not because they took part in a weak section or a weak region or anything. It's because of the talent of competition that they played. And they constantly played Class AAA, AA, and the best Class Single A teams around the region. That's why they were able to get to Charleston, and they were competitive, and facing a top-ranked team in Charleston didn't phase them at all.
No, it shouldn't. When you're an opponent out there, no matter who you are, it shouldn't phase you at all. Just whoever you're playing, because you got to know that your season can end at any time as you want. You could be undefeated going into the postseason, and you may play good competition, you may play weak competition. You could be undefeated going into the postseason, and when it comes to postseason, especially in sectional and regional, or now the state tournament, is double elimination, 2 losses, and you're done. And you got to go on you basically just, your season's hanging up early, and if you're a senior, you never want to end your season on letdowns. And Chapmanville they have been breaded for success here in softball. They've won multiple state championships. They have legendary head coaches and a well-rounded supporting fan base for the Tiger program, so they're always pursuing to try to be the best, and it starts with competition. You got to beat whoever you're playing. You got to beat them, and that should be your goal. Our goal is to, say for Chapmanville tonight, our goal is to beat Wyoming East. And so then you got to take it to the next game, and then the game after, and then the game after.
Yeah, Latasha Perry's going to get to start in the circle tonight for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers, and she's going to face a Wyoming East lineup that looks like this. Leading off will be the shortstop, Emma Simpson, the shortstop. Kaylee Bain, the catcher, will bat second. Savannah Brim, center fielder, hits third. Andrea Laxton, first baseman, bats fourth. Olivia Monroe, right fielder, batting fifth. Carly Ray, the third baseman, bats sixth. Haley Atkins, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Lindsey Mullins, the designated player, hits eighth, and she'll bat for Peyton Brim, the pitcher, and Chloe Pritchard, the left fielder, bats ninth. We'll step aside real quickly for a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back to set the lineup for Chapmanville. You're listening to Chapmanville Tiger Softball on WBOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field. We'll be at Orr Field Thursday for Chapmanville and Logan. But tonight we're live from Ronnie Mule Uten Field, home by the Chapmanville Lady Tigers, as Latasha Perry finishes her warm-up tosses in the circle, and we're just about set for softball, Daniel. Chapmanville and Wyoming East.
Yeah, I'm ready to get my first look at Chapmanville this season. I've heard they're pretty young, but mixed with well-experienced team. They're looking to try to make some noise and to build onto this program that has so many success in the past. And from what I hear from Wyoming East, they had some players issues coming in before the game. They couldn't get enough players to play, but I think looking at now, they got 12 players on the roster, so they're just lucky to be here right now. So let's just see what Wyoming East and Chapmanville brings us tonight, Bills. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, Chapmanville and Wyoming East. This was a Wyoming East team that was supposed to take part in the Chapmanville Lady Tiger Invitational over the weekend, but Coach Doc Warner had to call Coach Ronnie Ooten and inform him that they had some issues, I guess, with illness and some injuries to where they wouldn't been able to take part in the Invitational this past weekend. But unfortunately, Mother Nature stepped in and no one took part in the Invitational, as all games on Friday and Saturday were wiped out. So Chapmanville returning to the diamond for the first time since Thursday evening when they defeated the Nitro Wildcats in a game played at Nitro. They got out to the big lead and they had to hold off the Wildcats late. So we're ready for softball as the Lady Tigers meet in the circle with Latasha Perry, and the first batter of the game for Wyoming East will be Emma Simpson, the shortstop. And defensively for Chapmanville, the defense looks like this. In left field, Lakin Park. Center fielder, Hannah Miller. Brooke Christian in right field. Evie Altizer, third base. Shortstop, Chloe Murphy. Emma Muncie at second. Aaron Aggins at first base. Erica Sigmund behind the plate. And Latasha Perry in the circle for the Lady Tigers. Daniel, I said we were ready for softball, but, look around. I don't see no umpires, and, even the coaches and the captains for, Wyoming East are wondering the same thing where the umpires could be, because, we did see both of them, and now, let's see, Randy Robinette emerges from the dugout. We're just waiting on the home plate umpire, George Chafin, and Chafin has emerged from the dugout to meet with both coaches.
Yeah, I was about to say, Bill, we might have to go put on our blue shirts tonight and call the game and call for the radio if we're short on umpires. But they're both here. You always know Randy Robinette's going to be here. He'll come. If there's a 9 a.m. game, he'll be here tomorrow. He'll be here the day before. He's always that ready. Long-time Logan, the softball coach. Very well respected around this area. But, yeah, we finally got some officials now, and we're ready to play softball. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm excited to watch these two teams get the first time to see them. It's always exciting to see two new teams that you've never seen before. And we get to get our first look at the Lady Tigers of Chapmanville, and we get our only look this year, the Lady Warriors of Wyoming East, who has a very tough section for all I know. They got, from what I've understand, they got Independence. I think Independence and Shady is in one section, but they also got I meant tough region, as they got Independence and Shady Springs in that region. So it's going to be tough for the Wyoming East Warriors, but they're just like their basketball program, and I think their softball program is going to accept all and many challenges that is being laid to them.
Well, that's the challenge in southern West Virginia, is trying to put all the teams into one region and one section and try to remain as balanced as you can. And you look at this, Chapmanville's region 4, with as we mentioned, the likes of Winfield, Sissonville, Wayne, Nitro, Logan, Chapmanville, Scott. Teams that have gotten to the state tournaments, and everybody with the exception of Scott and Nitro have gotten to the state tournament, and they have won state championships before. So it's going to be a challenge, and I think the Cardinal Conference, when you look at it, Herbert Hoover's a 4-time reigning Class AA state champion, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Cardinal Conference has won the last 5, if not 6, state championships in Class AA.
Yeah, I think if my memory suits me right, I think the last team that won the AA state title before Herbert Hoover is the Chapmanville Lady Tigers.
Well, your memory is correct.
I do believe that, because Chapmanville was on a run, and they were led by a lot of talented seniors. I think one of them was Drew and Paul Williams' younger sister, I can't remember her name.
Andy.
I think Andy Williamson. Okay, yeah, she was one of the. I remember.
Yeah, her and Poppy Ramey. I mean, that was the battery here at Chapmanville High School for 2 or 3 years when Harts High School closed and consolidated. But a lot of history here at Chapmanville High School as we're underway. As the first pitch from Latasha Perry to Emma Simpson's taken at the knees for a called strike. 1-0 the count to the right-hand hitting shortstop Emma Simpson.
You got to know one thing for batters: the pitchers, they love to go with the rise ball, and sometimes the batters don't let off of that. See what happens here.
Had a little bit of a low-speed pitch on the first one. The second one bounces off the plate and then off the chest protector of the catcher, Erica Sigmund, for a ball. 1-1, the count even to Simpson.
See what Wyoming East Sigmund can do. To Simpson could do here. She's stepping in with a 1-1 count, and now see if she can get her signs and try to lead off everything for the Warriors.
1-1 is high now to the zone. 2-1 now the count to Emma Simpson, as the last checking it out. Let's see, all the way back to mention it, since 2012, the Cardinal Conference has won the state championship, going all the way back to 2012. Of course, there was no state championship, as a 2-1 count is on the outside corner for a called strike. 2-2 the count. 2020, there was no state championship. So you go all the way back to 2012 when Wayne won back-to-back state championships as that 2-2 pitch is outside 3-2. Wayne went back-to-back in 2012, 2013. Hoover won 14, Sissonville 15, Chapmanville 16. Again, as Daniel mentioned, the last team other than Herbert Hoover to win the state championship. Pitch on the way is inside, and it's ball 4. Leadoff walk for Emma Simpson, and Herbert Hoover has won the last 4 Class AA state championships.
Yeah, now that'll bring up a basketball player, one of the star basketball players for the Wyoming East Warriors, state champion, 2-time state champion, Kaylee Bain is going to come up and see what she can do now with the runner on first. Can she get a hit and move her over and put some threats to the Lady Tigers?
Pitch on the way, swung on and hit into the gap in left field. The left fielder gets over there. That's Parks. She plays it on a hop. Runner trying to take third, and she will be safely in there, as moving up to second on the throw is Kaylee Bain. So it is a one out, or a single, and Wyoming East has got the top two hitters aboard in the top half of the first inning, and Savannah Brim, the center fielder, steps in.
That is a great start for Wyoming East. Get the first runner on with a ball, and then Kaylee Bain, just like she's a home run hitter in basketball. Apparent there, she's a heavy hitter for the Lady Warriors, and now they got 2 runners in scoring position with Brim. Can she be the one that breaks open the scoreless barrier right now in the top of the first and give Wyoming East the early lead?
Pitch on the way in the dirt, 1-0 the count to Savannah Brim, as the runner at third, Emma Simpson, got a good read on that hit into the alley there, and it kind of took a tricky hop on Lakin Parks. Parks was able to keep the ball in front of her, but Simpson made a good read and was able to get to third, as the 1-0 offering is on the outside corner. 1-1 the count to the center fielder, Savannah Brim. Just underway here from Ronnie Mule Uten Field on the campus of Chapmanville High School. Scoreless between Wyoming East and Chapmanville. 1-1 on the way. Outside corner, called strike, 1-2. And Daniel, if these pitchers are able to pound the outside corner, home plate umpire George Chafin, as we've seen here, has been giving them the outside corner as long as it's anywhere near the corner.
Yeah, he's making that corner now. See if they can finish her off.
1-2, and it's a slow roller hit between pitcher and the third baseman, and the throw's not going to be in time. So it's an infield single for Brim, as runners will hold their positions at second and third.
Just a little bit off on that throw. Now Wyoming East has bases loaded with Laxton coming up to the plate, the first baseman. Let's see what she could do here. Get just a hit to the outfield could score the runner from third. As right now Wyoming East is threatened with bases loaded, and Chapmanville has still yet to record an out in this inning.
Andrea Laxton, the right-handed hitting first baseman for the Wyoming East Warriors, with the opportunity to give him an early lead, and the pitch hits her, and that will bring home a run as Simpson scores from first, and Wyoming East is on top 1-0.
That is the worst way you will ever want to give up a run, is hitting a batter right out the gate. And right now, Chapmanville just needs to calm down. Just tell her that, hey, it's okay. Even though you're in the jam right now, just go talk to her. She'll be fine. Just get the work. Just work the batter. Inch by inch. Just work your way through it, and then just focusing on just getting these outs. That's what Chapman needs to focus on. Find the placement of where you want to put the pitch at, and just get the outs.
That's what catcher Erica Ziegman will do. As you mentioned, she'll go out and talk to Perry and try to settle her down here. Still, nobody out. In the top half of the first inning, 1 run already in, 2 hits for the Warriors. And the 5th batter, that is Alicia Monroe, takes a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Chapmanville with the corners up, middle infield, shortstop back about double play death, stood second baseman, that's Emma Muncie, creeping in about halfway as the 0-1 offering is taken for a strike. 0-2 the count.
Right now,
or actually, 0-2 the count. 1-0 ball game here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and hit into center field for a base hit. It's going plate run as Kaylee Bain scores. Here comes Brim, and she will score, and it's a 2-run single for Alicia Monroe. And Wyoming East has struck for 3 in the first inning, and Chapmanville has yet to get it out.
Yeah, right now it's the Wyoming East. This is what you wanted. You wanted a great start. You had to have the great start against Chapmanville. You want to get them behind early in the game and then try to keep it rolling. And right now, if you're just Chapmanville, you're just looking to just settle in, just try to find a groove for the pitcher. The pitcher Perry, see if she can just record this first out wherever it may be, either a ground out or a strikeout.
Carly Ray, the batter, and she swings and hits one foul along the third baseline. 0-1 the count. Wyoming East in their last game Thursday evening against Greenbrier East jumped out to a 4-0 lead after 1 inning, but Greenbrier East settled down and came back and won the contest as that one is hit into center field. But right there is the center fielder Hannah Miller to retire Ray for the first out. 1 away. And the batter, Haley Atkins, the second baseman.
Right there, that's good for Chapmanville. Get the first out. The pitcher didn't give her anything easy. She gave her a fly, just a little bit of ball rising up, and able to send it to the center fielder to record that first out. So maybe this is what Chapmanville needs to get started in this inning.
First pitch is swung on and fouled by Atkins out in front of home plate. 0-1 the count. Wyoming East, 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. 1 out, runners at first and second. Atkins looking to drive in the 4th run with a base hit possibly. Pitch on its way is swung on, hit to third, and that's going to be Altizer taking it to the bag and fire over to first. Not in time for the double play as Haley Atkins was able to outrun the throw and reach base safely, but the lead runner is retired on a fielder's choice. 5 unassisted on the play, and the 2-out batter is Lindsey Mullins, the designated player for the Wyoming East Warriors.
Right there, good smart play by Altizer. Step on third, try to get the throw over at first. It just wasn't in time, but 2 outs are now on the board for the Tigers. See if they can finish it up here and get that 3rd out.
First pitch swung on a miss by Mullins. 0-1 the count as Perry is 1 out away from getting out of a jam here. And pitch is high, 1-1 to count. And, Wyoming East is, we mentioned the first 5 batters reached base. They plated 3 runs here thus far before the last 2 were retired. Perry looking to get out of it. 1-1 on the way is a called strike at the knees. 1-2 the count. Now Perry is 1 strike away from retiring the Wyoming East Lady Warriors in the first inning.
That was a beautiful pitch from Perry. See if she can finish it here.
1-2 on the way, outside corner, called 3rd strike, and she will indeed finish it. First strikeout of the contest. But the Warriors do some damage in the top half of the first inning. They plate 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2 runners on base. Half inning in the books from Ronnie Mule Uten Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. It's Wyoming East 3 and Chapmanville coming to bat. This is Chapmanville Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field on the campus of Chapmanville High School. We moved to the bottom of the first inning. Wyoming East with a 3-spot in the top half of the first inning jumps out to an early 3-0 lead. And the Lady Tigers for Chapmanville coming to bat. Emma Muncie, the second baseman, leads it off against the pitcher for Wyoming East, Peyton Brim. And the first pitch is in a dirt for a ball, 1-0 the count. It's Muncie, the second baseman, leading off. Lakin Parks, left fielder, bats second. Brooke Christian, the right fielder, hits third. Erica Sigmund behind the plate bats fourth. Chloe Murphy, shortstop, hits fifth as the pitch is inside. 2-0 the count. Following Murphy in the lineup is first baseman Aaron Atkins, batting sixth. Evie Altizer, third baseman, bats seventh. Latassa Perry, the pitcher, bats eighth. And Hannah Miller, the center fielder, will bat ninth. As Muncie has worked the count to 3-0. Never a good sign when you're given 3 runs and the pitcher goes out and issues a 4-pitch walk now, as Muncie will trot on down to first base.
And as after giving up that first 3 runs in the first inning, this is what you want to first half of the inning. This is what you want to see for Chapmanville. Already get a runner on base, and now to see if they can keep it going with Parks, the center fielder, coming to bat.
Left fielder, actually, Lakin Parks shows bunt, pulls back, and the ball gets by. And taking second base without a throw will be Emma Muncie, as the ball was officially scored out a wild pitch. As Chapmanville with the runner in scoring position looking to cut in to an early 3-0 deficit, and Parks can do so with a hit. That pitch is low, so Daniel 6 pitches from Peyton Brim, 6 balls.
Right now she just needs to settle in and just find the strike zone right now.
That pitch on the way, swung on and hit off the glove of the shortstop and into left field. As taking a play at third base is Muncie. She'll advance. She just about got too far off the bag and was tagged out, but she dives back safely ahead of the throw. So first and third for the Lady Tigers here in the bottom half of the first inning. They trail 3-0, and Brooke Christian, the batter. And Christian has home run pop and has the ability to tie this game with one swing of the bat. Brim set, pitch is taken for a ball as a throw down to second base will be in plenty of time to get the runner, but coming in to score is Muncie, as Parks is erased on the caught stealing. Bain to Simpson, the shortstop, 2-6 if you're scoring at home with us.
Yeah, right now Chapmanville will trade outs for runs. They get their first run on the board and see if they can keep it up with Brooke Christian.
Christian swings and misses on the pitch outside in the zone. 1-1 to count to the left-hand hitting right fielder, Brooke Christian.
Right now, if you're Christian, like you said, Bill, just one swing can make this a brand new ball game, only trailing by 1 run instead of 2.
Pitch low in the dirt, 2-1 to count. Erica Zigman, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. She had a 2-run home run in Chapmanville's win over Nitro Thursday night on the road. 2-1 on the way, and it's inside. 3-1 now the count.
Right now, Brim has only thrown 1 strike, as the catcher, Bain, is going to come out and talk to her. Or no, excuse me. That's Kaylee Baines coming down.
Kaylee Bain, the catcher, to come out and try to talk to Peyton Brim and try to settle her down, as she has thrown 2 strikes to the first 3 batters. 1 ball was put in play, and one you could say that Brooke Christian may have expanded the zone and come up empty on the swingers. It was a swing and miss. So 3-1 on the way, swung on, hit in the right field, and that's going to be a base hit. And Christian is aboard with 1 out, and that'll bring the catcher, Erica Zigman, to the plate.
Yeah, right now it's a hit parade for both teams, as Chapmanville and Wyoming East are both putting the barrel to the ball, and now Murphy's coming up, the catcher. Right now, this is what you want for Chapmanville. You only got 1 out on the board, but see if you can keep this going and try to tie this ball game with 1 swing of the bat from Murphy.
Pitch is taken for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Erica Zigman with Chloe Murphy in the on-deck circle, the Tiger shortstop. Pitch on the way, and a check swing. Did she go too far? It's a ball, but now the appeal down to first base, and Randy Robinette, the field umpire, says that Sigmund was able to hold up her swing. So 1-1 the count to the right-hand hitting catcher for Chapmanville. Pitch on its way is low and away. 2-1 now the count.
And right now, if you're Sigmund, just settling in, just do your job to move the batter over to second and just try to keep this rally going in the bottom of the first.
2-1, runner on first base, pitch on the way, swung on a miss, and Sigmund extended the zone and swung at a pitch up and away and came up empty. 2-2 now the count. And we've seen that this year. Pitchers using that rise ball to get them to chase, and 2-2 on the way, and she goes right back to it. Does Peyton Brim to get her first strikeout of the contest, and now 2 away, and Chloe Murphy, the batter.
Yeah, I got my numbers mixed up. I wrote them backwards, but now Murphy's coming to the plate. And can she keep this going with 2 outs on the board to try to bring Chapmanville within 1 run?
Pitch on the way is a slow, I wouldn't necessarily call that an Ephus pitch. It looked more like a changeup on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Chloe Murphy. Now Brim ready with the pitch, swung on a miss by Murphy. 0-2 now the count.
And right now, Brim she got off a slow start throwing balls. Now she's starting to paint a pretty picture. Right now, she's getting these strikeouts. Can she finish it with another strikeout? Her will be a second strikeout in a row to the Tigers to end this inning.
0-2 on the way, swung on and fouled into the net. That is strike 3. Strikeout number 2 of the first inning for Peyton Brim, and the third out for the Chapmanville Tigers. Tigers do play to run. On 1 hit, there was 1 error, 1 runner left on base. 1 inning in the books from Chapmanville, West Virginia. It's Wyoming East 3, Chapmanville 1. This is Chapmanville Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Field. We move to the top half of the second inning, and Chloe Pritchard, the left fielder, the batter, facing a 1-2 count from Latasha Perry. 3-1 the score. Wyoming East on top. 1-2 offering on the way. Swung on and fouled. Count remains 1-2.
And right now, Pritchard, the 9-hole hitter, is just looking to start where it happened in the last inning, and starting getting off with a good rally to get those 3 runs on the first board in the top of the first inning. Can she just continue what happens in the first inning here in the second?
Pitch on the way is a ball in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Pritchard, Simpson, and Bain. 9-1-2 due up in the Wyoming East lineup. Again, Lady Warriors on top. 3-1. Pitch on the way is outside, and count has run full 3-2, and Perry started off quickly, 2 strikes, and has now thrown 3 straight balls. Full count offering on the way, swung on, and fouled along the third baseline again. So count will remain 3-2.
Hot start, thrown 3 straight balls, and now she's thrown a pitch that got a foul out of line. But Pritchard just looking to stay alive and just try to get on base from the very, very strong pitching of Perry.
And the 3-2 offering is high for ball 4, so a good at bat by Chloe Pritchard after falling behind 0-2. She's able to battle back and draw a leadoff walk. And now the batter is Emma Simpson, who walked to start things for the Wyoming East Warriors. Simpson came around to score on the RBI single on the RBI hit by pitch by Andrea Laxton for the first run for the Wyoming East Warriors. Simpson in the box, pitch swung on, hit out past the second baseman and into right center field, and moving up to third on the play will be Chloe Pritchard, and taking second on the throw is Emma Simpson. So the Warriors, with runners on second and third, looking to expand on a 3-1 lead.
Good ball hitting there by Simpson. She just put it right past the second baseman's glove. Couldn't reach out in time to grab it. And now Bain is going to come back up as she's singled in the first inning. But we're going to get a talking. Actually, we're going to get a pitching change.
I believe we will get a pitching change as Coach Uten emerges from the dugout for Chapmanville and will make the change for the Tigers. Going to the mound is Charity Atwood as Perry pitches an inning and a plus, has given up 3 runs on 4 hits. All the runs are earned. She has 1 strikeout, 2 walks, and a hit batter. She is responsible for the runners at second and third. So Coach Ronnie Uten seeing this as a opportunity to, he feels like he needs to make the change here, or try to keep these Lady Warriors bats at bay.
Yeah, Perry didn't do a bad job in my opinion. She was getting strikes. She was getting strikes, getting good placement where she wanted the pitches. It's just the Wyoming East just came in hitting. They were hitting from the first inning to now, and now Coach Uten feels like it is a change, and that's where you see the new pitching change come in. And maybe this could be a spark for Atwood to try to slow down the bats of Wyoming East, who are very red hot right now.
Yeah, Wyoming East coming in this contest are being very aggressive at the plate, and they've plated 3 runs thus far and have an opportunity to plate more as they have runners on second and third here. The batter will be Kaylee Bain. Bain singled back in the first inning.
Kaylee Bain.
And Atwood, the pitcher, will occupy the number 8 spot in the batting lineup for the Chapmanville Tigers. And the pitch is swung on, popped up into center field, and it's going to find its way to the gap and one hop the fence out in left center field, and it's going to be an RBI double as a good piece of base running by Emma Simpson. She had to hold up and make sure the ball wasn't caught, and she's only able to advance to third, but scoring on the play is Chloe Pritchard, on the RBI double off the bat of Kaylee Bain.
And right now, Kaylee Bain is willing this Wyoming East team to where she has a single and a double already. If she gets a triple and a home run, she can have the cycle. But right now, Atwood just settle in and just try to record this first out for Chapmanville.
First pitch to Savannah Brim is a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to count. Brim 1 for 1 with the run scored back in the third inning. 4-1. Wyoming East leads. That pitch swung on and fouled out of play as Brim was way out in front of that pitch.
Way out in front of it. I'm glad I'm not parked over there because she got over that one. I think that one went all the way to the school. And she got ahead of that one. But right now, 0-2 count. Charity Atwood just needs to settle in and just get this third strike and get this first out for Chapmanville. And maybe that will calm the nerves of Atwood, who's came in to relieve for Perry.
0-2 on the way, and the pitch is on the outside corner for a called third strike. So 1 away in the top half of the second inning for the Lady Warriors, and the batter is Andrea Laxton, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning to bring home the first run for the Wyoming East Lady Warriors.
Right now, Laxton, she's got 2 runners in scoring position. She would love nothing better but to bring them in and extend this lead.
And she nearly got hit by the pitch that time as Atwood comes inside and just misses. 1-0 the count.
Now, if Laxton gets hit by this, I would be shaking my head like, what did I do? I was just trying to hit the ball. No, please don't hit me.
Pitch on the way, 1-1. Now the count as Laxton swings and misses. Laxton crowding the inside part of that plate, getting as close to the batter's box as she can without stepping over the line. Now 1-1 on the way as a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Atwood is 1 pitch away from retiring Laxton on strikes. What would be a big second out in his top half second inning. Pitch on the way, swung on, popped up on the infield. Nobody's calling for it, but Atwood makes a good play coming out of the circle to make the catch and retire Andrea Laxton on the flyout as no communication between the Tiger infield. Alertly, Atwood took matters in their own hands to retire Laxton.
Yeah, that was just lucky awareness that Laxton just was able to get, Atwood was able to get a eye on the ball, and that gets the second out. And 1 more out, Chapmanville would probably be in good shape, only just giving up 1 run.
Lisa Monroe, the batter, she had a 2-run single in the first inning. She's 1 for 1 and takes a called strike on the outside corner as Atwood's ready with the 0-1. The pitch swung on and hit foul, and the count quickly 0-2. And Daniel, back to that play where Atwood alertly comes out of the circle. The ball's hit to the left side, so shortstop on the infield has the priority over everybody on the infield, but the shortstop failed to call off anybody and didn't even make a play. So luckily, as we mentioned, Atwood alertly realized that nobody made a play, and she was close enough to catch it, or else we would have bases loaded, and Wyoming East probably would have another run in. But as it stands, it's now a 1-2 count as Monroe takes a pitch outside. 1-2, 2 outs, 1 run in for the Warriors. They lead 4-1. Pitch on the way is in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher, Erica Sigmund, to prevent any further advancement from the runners. 2-2 now the count.
Again, right now, Chapmanville just want to focus on getting this third out and just getting out of this jam, only giving up 1 run.
Pitch on the way is outside. Now the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And Carly Ray, the third baseman, in the on-deck circle. Ray hit a shot to center field that was tracked down by the center fielder, Hannah Miller, back in the first. Full count on the way. Swung on, fouled again. Count remains 3-2.
Olivia Monroe staying alive right now. She's another basketball player for the Wyoming East Warriors from what I've noticed in that state championship season. She's right now she's doing everything she can just to try to bring in these 2 runs, staying alive. See if Atwood can finish her right now.
Pitch on the way is low, and Olivia Monroe will coax a 2-out walk. And the bases are now loaded for Carly Ray.
Ray's coming up. Bases loaded, and 1 hit right here for Ray. Even though she flew out in the center field in the last inning, a base hit here would be huge and probably blow the game open for Wyoming East.
Pitch on the way, swung on, popped up on the infield. Who's going to call for it? It will be Atwood to make the catch in the palm of her glove. Luckily, that ball didn't pop out, but Atwood comes in and does the job and keeps Wyoming East off the scoreboard. But the Warriors do play to run on 2 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. 1.5 in the books from Ronnie Mule Uten Field. It's Wyoming East 4, Chapmanville 0. This is Chapmanville Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Newton Field. We move to the bottom of the second inning. 4-1, Wyoming East leads Chapmanville. This is Chapmanville Lady Tigers softball on WVOW, and Aaron Atkins in the box swings and fouls off the second pitch. She fouled off the first pitch and is in a quick 0-2 hole as Aaron Atkins, the first baseman, Evie Altizer, the third baseman, and Charity Atwood, the pitcher, 6, 7, 8 in the Lady Tigers lineup against Peyton Brim. And the 0-2 on the way is swung on and missed. Third straight strikeout for Brim, out number 1 in the bottom of the second.
And right now you gotta like what Brim has done. She's settled in, and now she's got 3 straight strikeouts after she only threw 1 strike in her first 3 batters. Now she's starting to settle in, and she struck out the last 3 batters dating back to the first inning. Can she continue right here against a young Evie Altizer?
Altizer, the batter. She's the third baseman for the Chapmanville Tigers. The pitch is on the way, and in the dirt, 1-0 the count. As Chapmanville in an early 3-run hole, trailing 4-1. The bottom of the second inning, as Wyoming East has plated 3 runs in the first and 1 in the second. That pitch swung on, popped up on the infield. That is the second baseman, Haley Atkins, to retire Altizer for the second out.
Yeah, Altizer just couldn't get. She got 2 underneath that ball. She popped it up to the second baseman, and now that brings up Atwood, who is in the spot for Perry. That when she started the game. Now Atwood is coming to bat. Can she get this 2-out rally going for Chapmanville right now, as they need it with only trailing by 3 runs?
Atwood, her first plate appearance of the afternoon. Pitch on the way, and it's inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Charity Atwood, who is on in relief of Latasha Perry. Perry pitched an inning plus, allowing 4 earned runs, 4 hits, strike out, 2 walks, and she hit a batter as Atwood is ahead in the count, 2-0.
Right now, Atwood is just focusing on just getting on base and trying to break up this groove from Brim.
2-0 on the way, swung on, hit in left field, and that's going to get down for a hit as the left fielder, Chloe Pritchard, cuts it off, and a 2-out base runner for the Chapmanville Tigers in the bottom half of the second. And we'll see if we get a courtesy runner or if Coach Ooten decides to let Atwood run. They're talking it over down there in the first base coaching box, and it looks like Ooten will let her run, or will she?
Nope,
will
looks
he?
like
No, we'll get
another courtesy runner.
We'll get a courtesy runner for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers, and that will be Madeline Farley.
Maddie Farley. Up to bat.
Or actually, Maddie Farley is what she goes by. Maddie Farley.
Number 1, Hannah Miller.
The courtesy runner for the Tigers. Hannah Miller, the batter, and Miller, the number 9 hitter in this Chapmanville lineup, takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to count.
And right now, Miller's job is just to get on base and continuing this rally for Chapmanville, as Atwood did a good job breaking up Brim's groove. See if she can continue it here.
That pitch swung on, hit off the end of the bat to the third baseman, and that's Carly Ray, who fires over in time to Laxton for the third out, retiring the Tigers in the bottom half of the second inning, but they get a hit and leave a runner on base. 2 innings complete. It is Wyoming East 4, Chapmanville 1. You're listening to Chapmanville Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field on the campus of Chapmanville High School, and very quickly, one away as Haley Aggins is retired by the strikeout, 2-3 on the drop third strike, so one away for the Wyoming East Lady Warriors, who lead 4-1, and the batter Lindsey Mullins 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Yeah, right now that's what you want for Chapmanville. The last two innings that started off for Wyoming East, they got runners on base. Good start here. They finally got their the first out, not giving up the first runner, putting on base by either a hit or a ball or a hit. So right now Chapmanville's starting off good with Atwood trying to settle in, record a first down, and it looks like hoping she can record a second out to Mullins.
Pitch is swung on and fouled, 0-1 the count, and if Atwood's able to retire Wyoming East in order here in the top half of the third inning, Chapmanville will have the top of the lineup coming up in the bottom half of the third. Muncie, Parks, Christian, and a 3-run game. So this could be a pivotal inning for the Lady Tigers, both defensively and offensively, as the 0-1 on the way swung on and hit in the left field for a base hit. And Mullins is aboard for the first time today. She's now 1 for 2.
And now that's good. After your first runner got out, the second runner comes up. She gets a single hit right past the third baseman and the shortstop. And now that brings back up Pritchard, who was walked her last appearance. Right now, if you're Wyoming East, you just got to worry about just putting your foot on the gas and keep getting momentum, keep getting these runners on base, and try to put pressure on the Tigers.
First offering on the way, and Pritchard shows bunt and bunts it foul up the third base side, 0-1 to count, as Pritchard, the number 9 hitter in the Wyoming East lineup, trying to move Mullins up to second base in front of the top of the lineup, Emma Simpson, the shortstop in the on-deck circle, who's already 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Pitch on the way is taken for a ball outside, 1-1 to count, as nothing doing at first base, as Lindsey Mullins got a little too far off the bag, but was able to get back because the first baseman Aaron Aggins was charging on the play, and the second baseman Emma Muncie late getting over there. So now the 1-1, Pritchard squares the bunt and is unable to pull it back. So 1-2 now the count.
Yeah, that bunt just happened to fall into the glove of Sigmund right now, and with one out, only one runner on base, can Chapmanville get this second big strikeout for Atwood and try to get 2 outs on the board and get one step closer to ending this inning.
Pitch on the way, and yet again Pritchard offers at the pitch and is unable to pull the bunt back. So it is strikeout number 3 for Charity Atwood, out number 2 for Wyoming East, and the batter, Emma Simpson.
That's a great job for Atwood. She got that strikeout, and that's big right now as Simpson is coming up to bat, and this is where Wyoming East does most of their damage in the top of the lineup.
Ball in the dirt taken for a ball by Simpson. A good block by Erica Sigmund, the catcher for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers, to prevent Mullins from advancing on a possible wild pitch or pass ball. So 1-0 the count. Pitch on the way, and it's swung on and hit down the left field line and out of play just over the bleachers along the left field line. 1-1 to count.
And if that ball was just lined up perfect from Simpson, that ball might have been out of here. Right now, just Atwood just coming in, settling down. She's got 2 outs now with a strikeout on this one. Can she finish it up here?
Pitch outside, and the runner breaks for second. Nobody covering the bag. That'll be an easy steal for Lindsey Mullins, as a shortstop, Chloe Murphy, was late getting to the bag. And, I'm sure I hear Coach Uten yelling something from the dugout. I'm sure there was no communication on the infield as well to let the catcher, Sigmund, know that Mullins was attempting to steal. So 2-1 to count. Runner in scoring position for Wyoming East. Pitch on the way, swung on, hit back up the middle in the center field. The center fielder, Miller, charges, gets it back in, but scoring from second base on the play is Lindsey Mullins. So the stolen base comes back to bite Chapmanville, and Wyoming East now up 5-1.
Yeah, that miscommunication can lead straight to just honestly a disaster, and that's what happened. Wyoming East got a good shot back up the middle with Simpson, and now they add on to their lead 5-1, and now the dangerous Kaylee Bain is back up to bat for the Warriors, and if she can repeat what she done in the first and second inning, this could be in deep trouble for the Tigers.
2 for 2, a single and a run scored in the first inning. In her last plate appearance, she produced an RBI double. So 2 for 2 for Bain, an RBI and a run scored, and she takes a pitch outside for a ball. And Daniel, I know we've got the headsets on, and we can't really hear a lot that goes on as that pitch is inside and it's in the dirt. And taking second is Simpson, and she'll have a stolen base as she was moving on the pitch. So 2-0 the count and a runner in scoring position. But as I mentioned, we may have the headsets on and can't hear everything that goes on the field. But on that stolen base attempt, there was no chatter on the infield as the 2-0 on the way, swung on, popped up in the right field. Christian at first holds put, but then she'll come running in to make the catch to retire Bain for the third out of the third inning. But the Warriors played another run on 2 hits. They leave a runner left stranded. 2.5 innings in the books from Ronnie Newton Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. It's Wyoming East 5, Chapmanville 1. This is Chapmanville High School softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Chapmanville, West Virginia. We move to the bottom of the third inning. It's Wyoming East 5, Chapmanville 1. High school softball on WVOW. And top of the lineup, due up for Chapmanville as that pitch is swung on and fouled off the screen. And almost back at us was, once again, ready to make a play on a foul ball, Daniel.
We are not going to bring that back up. I was ready. Hey, this time I did not move when the foul balls come back to me, so we are not going to bring that back up again, okay? I was in there. If it means it, I will take the hit.
The pitch on the ways in the dirt, 1-1 to count to Emma Muncie, who walked back in the first inning and came around to score on a delayed steal of home for the Lady Tigers' first run. As the pitch on the way swung on and fouled. Inside pitch, actually, Muncie was able to get the bat around and foul it off. 1-2 now the count. Chapmanville trailing Wyoming East 5-1, bottom of the third inning.
Now, if people are wondering what we were talking about, I'll just tell you this. Go listen to Scott and Logan, then you'll find out what we're talking about in baseball.
1-2 on the way, and pitch swung on, fouled out of play again over the press box, and onto the parking lot here at the Chapmanville Intermediate School. 1-2 the count.
Right now, if you're just Muncie, her last appearance, she got on with a walk, and she scored the only run for Chapmanville right now. See if she can get this spark, trailing by 4 runs to the Warriors.
Pitch is in the dirt. Now the count evens up at 2-2 as Muncie looking to get on base like she did back in the first inning for Chapmanville, trying to get a leadoff walk to start the third inning. 2-2 the count. Pitch on the way is a ball high, 3-2, and Muncie is 1 pitch away from doing just that.
Right now, Brim, the pitchers are going wild right now. She's just trying. Maybe she just need to look to settle in, just try to find the strike zone. She did a good job in the second inning and in the first. At the bottom half of that, see if she can get this first out for Wyoming East.
Pitch on the way, low in the dirt, and that's ball 4. And Muncie, just like she did in the first inning, draws a leadoff walk. And now Lakin Parks, the left fielder, who reached on an error back in the first inning, will step to the plate.
And if this is reminiscent of what happened in the first inning, you can see if Muncie can duplicate what she did in the first inning and score off of that ball. Or walk, excuse me.
Parks shows bunt and pulls back and takes a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to count as Muncie retreats back to first base just ahead of the throw from catcher Kaylee Bain. Haley Aggins was covering the bag, coming over from second base to cover the bag, and was late getting there. Some pitch on the way, and it's a bunt attempt that's going to be fouled off the first base dugout. And the count runs to 0-2.
Right now, Coach Uten, he's not afraid to play the small ball right now. He's trying to send his runners, and he's trying to lay down that bunt. He'll sacrifice a hit just to get runners over him in scoring position, and that's just the game of Coach Uten, the legendary coach right now for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers.
0-2 offering on the way, and pitch swung on, popped up on the infield. Shortstop calls for it, and the shortstop, Emma Simpson, makes the catch for the first out. And the batter, Brooke Christian, has singled back in the first innings. Christian 1 for 1.
Brooke Christian trying to repeat what she did in the first inning, and move Muncie over in the scoring position. But right now, a Lady Tiger basketball player is transitioning very well to the diamond, and see if she can get this going for Chapmanville and try to cut back into this lead, trailing 5-1.
Chapmanville down 5-1. The pitch on the way is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Brooke Christian, the left-handed hitting right fielder, who again 1 for 1, single back in the first inning. Brim's pitch on the way, swung on, hit into center field, and Christian has her second hit of the contest, as just ahead of the throw of the center fielder, Savannah Brim, as Emma Muncie getting in there safely, or otherwise it would have been a fielder's choice instead of a single. But it is Christian's second hit, and now Erica Zigman, the catcher, steps to the plate. She was a strikeout victim in the first inning. We'll see if she can produce here and keep this rally going for the Tigers. They have runners on second and third, and they trail 5-1 as the first pitch is taken at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 to count.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Muncie. Muncie was a little hesitant on taking second. She thought if the ball was maybe going to drop into a glove, she had a bad angle, but she was lucky able to get to second and get in scoring position.
Pitch outside, 1-1 to count. And that's always one of them tricky plays when the ball is popped up and you're a runner on first base. And you're going halfway, and then when the ball drops at the last second, you've got to kick it in gear. And luckily for Chapmanville, or fortunately I should say for Chapmanville Muncie, she was able to reach base ahead of the throw, as now Sigmund takes a ball up high, 2-1. Now the count to Erica Zigman with Chloe Murphy in the on-deck circle. That pitch fouled off the screen, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, right now, Brian tried to go back with the two high balls, rise balls, to try to get her to chase. That's just good awareness by Sigmund to not bait on those rise balls, and she's, stayed alive with the foul ball. Can she get the base hit right here that Chapmanville needs?
Pitch on the way, outside corner, but low, 3-2 now the count, as the Wyoming East fans wanted that pitch. But you could tell from up here, from our vantage point, Daniel, that ball was low on the corner. I mean, good placement. Just if it's an inch higher, it's a called third strike. 3-2 on the way, swung on a miss, and that is strike 3. And that is the fourth strikeout for the Wyoming East pitcher, Peyton Brim. And a big second out.
Number 5, Chloe
Yeah,
Murphy.
Wyoming East one of that previous strike to go is or ball that goes to be a strikeout, but now they get the strikeout there, and right now Sigmund or Murphy, can she come in and score and get Chapmanville closer into this game?
Pitch is low and is a ball 1-0 the count to Chloe Murphy, the shortstop, 0 for 1, strikeout victim back in the first inning. Chapmanville runners on first and second, looking to cut into a 5-1 deficit. The pitch is low, pitch just below the knees, 2-0 now the count to Murphy.
That's good. High placement by Murphy. She's not chasing anything that might be out of her way. She's just looking to just be smart and just try to do whatever she can, find her pitch, and get on base.
2-0 is a called strike at the belt. 2-1 now the count to Murphy with Aaron Atkins, the first baseman, in the on-deck circle. Again, if you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the third inning. 2 outs. Wyoming East leads Chapmanville 5-1. A 2-1 on its way is a called strike on the corner. 2-2 now the count. And that pitch, Daniel, looked a little low as the catcher went to the dirt to catch it.
Yeah, that pitch looked a little low. Even Murphy brought the bat back, but right now she's facing a 2-2 count, and the ball comes right back at us. And again, I'm not moving, but yeah, that last pitch looked a little low, and just right now, just trying to just settle in. She's fighting off these pitches from Brim and see what she can do with only 2 outs on the board. Can she keep this rally going here in the bottom of the third? And this would be big for Murphy to come in and try to get a base hit here and score Muncie from second.
2 outs, runners at first and second. Pitch on the way from Brim to Murphy has swung on and missed, and actually it'll be a foul ball as the ball is off the tip of the glove of the catcher, Kaylee Bain, who was unable to squeeze the foul ball. Third strike attempt, so count remains 2-2. Brim back in the circle now. Goes back through the signs with Bain, and now the 2-2 on the way. Swung on, popped up on the infield. That ball is going to be caught by the third baseman, as that was kind of a tricky play, but the third baseman, Carly Ray, was able to make the play and retire the Tigers in the bottom of the third inning. Chapmanville does get a hit, and they leave 2 runners on base. 3 innings complete from Ronnie Mule Uten Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. It's Wyoming East 5, Chapmanville 1. This is Chapmanville Lady Tiger Softball on WBOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Benton Field. We move to the top half of the fourth inning. First pitch swinging. Savannah Brim lines a single into left field for her second hit of the contest. Brim now 2 for 3 with a run scored. And Andrea Laxton, the batter, swings at the first pitch, comes up empty, 0-1 to count. Second pitch is in the dirt, and moving on the pitch is Brim. She'll have a stolen base again because she's moving on the pitch, even though the ball was in the dirt and got by the catcher. Brim was moving from the start. So it's a stolen base, second one of the evening for the Lady Warriors. First from Brim. Now the count 1-0. That pitch swung on, hit into center field, and it's going to get to the fence, and that will easily score Brim as Laxton will motor into second base with a double and her second RBI of the contest. And again, Daniel, we've seen this. This top 5 hitters in the Wyoming East lineup, and now we're to the number 5 hitter, Olivia Monroe, have been very aggressive in this count.
Yeah, they are very aggressive. They're not taking anything lightly. They're swinging at whatever they get, and they're making contact with whatever they get. That's just a good placement there by Laxton, and see if Olivia Monroe can bring it up for the Warriors.
And sometimes when you're aggressive in the lineup, you swing at the first pitch and pop one up, just as Monroe did, and the shortstop for Chapmanville, Chloe Murphy, makes the out for out number 1 in the top half of the fourth inning. 6-1, now the lead for Wyoming East.
Carly Ray stepping in, and now see if she can continue. She's 0 for 2 today, but I think she's due one for the Wyoming East Warriors.
Pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 the count, as Ray is 0 for 2. A fly out to center field and a fly out to the pitcher, as that pitch is in the dirt and bounces off the mask of the catcher Zigman and gets to the backstop, and taking third base will be Laxton on the wild pitch, as Zigman is okay. Anytime you wonder about that, especially the way the pitch was moving, and the catcher takes one to the mask like that, you're always worried about head injuries in the game. But Zigman was able to get to the ball quickly and then get back, and is okay. So play resumes, and that pitch is swung on and missed. 2-1 now the count.
And right now, Ray, she knows she can make contact with balls. She flew out to the center, popped up to the pitcher. Can she just do what she does, just make contacts into the outfield and score that run?
Pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. 2-2. The count evens up to Carly Ray.
Yeah, Carly Ray, she just knows that she just got one job. Hit the ball, and try to hit the ball to the outfield and score that run from third.
Pitch on the way is swung on and hit, and a good catch by Evie Altizer. I believe she caught it in the air, and there's no signal, and Ray is standing on first base, and home plate umpire George Chafin says she did catch the ball in the air, so there will be one out as Ray is retired on a nice diving catch by Carly Ray. Again, where Ray's at in her position, Daniel, I'm not for sure that would have necessarily been a fair ball. It's kind of that borderline play, but Altizer is able to make the catch for the out. That pitch swung on and hit right at the second baseman, and just like that, the Warriors are retired in the top half of the fourth inning, but they do play to run on 2 hits, and they leave a runner on base. 3.5 innings in the books from Chapmanville, West Virginia. Wyoming East leads Chapmanville 6-1. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WBOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports Welcome back to Chapmanville, West Virginia. We moved to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Aaron Aggins, the leadoff batter, ahead in the count 2-0, facing Peyton Brim. Brim on for her fourth inning work, and that pitch is swung on and hit into right field, and it'll drop in front of the right fielder Olivia Monroe for a single, and Aaron Aggins is on board with a leadoff single to start the fourth inning for the Chapmanville Tigers, and that is a big base runner for the Tigers. Now we'll get a pitch runner for the Tigers as Michaela Vance will be the runner for Aggins at first base. Chapmanville, again, Daniel, trailing on the scoreboard 6-1, and the way these Wyoming East Warriors bats are swinging, if Wyoming East is able to hold Chapmanville off the scoreboard here as the pitch is up high for a ball, 1-0 the count. If they're able to hold Chapmanville off the scoreboard in the bottom of the fourth, plate 3 runs in the top of the fifth, and then hold Chapmanville scoreless in the bottom of the fifth, they can end this game due to the 8-run mercy rule after 5 innings. Pitch on the way is outside corner, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, and was going to say after that hit from Aaron Atkins that Chapmanville, 3 out of the 4 times they started an inning, they got a runners on base. They only capitalized once. Can they capitalize again as that ball's high?
And that pitch is high and over the head of Evie Altizer, and a good snag by Kaylee Bain, where otherwise the pitch runner, Vance, would have had second base. Pitch on the way, low in the dirt, 3-1 to count.
Right now, if you're Evie Altizer, you just got to be smart right here and just get on base. And with no outs, with 2 runners on, this would be a good spark for Chapmanville as Atwood come up the bat. And the last time she came up in the second inning, she got a base hit.
Pitch is low in the dirt, and the Tigers have the first 2 aboard to start the bottom of the fourth. And Charity Atwood will be the batter. Atwood is 1 for 1 with the single, and before she can step into the box, we'll get a timeout and a visit from the Wyoming East pitching coach.
Yeah, he's going to go out there, talk to Brim, just tell her to calm down. Hey, we got a 6-1 lead. Just don't need to go try to force anything right here. Just get these, just get out one by one, and just don't worry about the 2 runners on the base. Just focus on the batter is what I would say if I was the coach. Focus on getting this out and try to just work your way around these batters for Chapmanville as you gave up 2 base runners. Just settle in. Just calm down and just work at the plate and try to get the right now I'd call the dangerous Charity Atwood out and get out number 1 for this inning and getting closer to maybe, like you said, Bill, to get that mercy rule in effect.
Wyoming East 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, or 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error committed by the Warriors in the field, 7 runners left on base. Chapmanville thus far 1 run, 4 hits, and they have left 4 runners on base. They have 2 on base right now, and a called strike at the knees, 0-1 to count. Daniel, Chapmanville has left 2 runners in scoring position of their 4 on base. Wyoming East, 5 of their 7 have been left in scoring position. 0-1 on the way. Atwood swings and hits a fly ball in the left field, and it's going to be over the left fielder's head and find its way to the center field gap. Moving to third is Vance, as Vance will now come in to score. It's a 2-run double for Charity Atwood, and moving up to third is Evie Altizer, just ahead of the throw of the center fielder, and the Tigers have cut into the lead. It's now 6-2, and Hannah Miller will be the batter with runners at second and third.
Yeah, like I mentioned, the dangerous Charity Atwood comes in, I would say, clutch with a double, RBI double, and now 2 runners in scoring position. See if Miller can continue this hot 4th inning and try to score another one for the Tigers.
Miller lays down a bunt, suicide squeeze, and it's going to get the job done as Miller will reach base safely as the first baseman had a little bit of trouble. Andrea Laxton came in, was unable to field it, so it's going to be an RBI as scoring from third is Evie Altizer, and Chapmanville is down 6-3 with runners at first and third, and top of the lineup coming to the bat for the Tigers, Emma Muncie, who has walked in both plate appearances.
You got to give good credit to this bottom of the lineup. Atkins, Altizer, Atwood, and Miller all come in. They did their job to move the lineup back to the top, where Muncie still have yet to record a hit right now. She's on with the last 2 appearances with a walk. But right now, if you're looking to get the spark, this is where you got it for the Chapmanville Tigers as they cut the lead in half.
Pitch on the way, taken for a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count as Muncie showed bunt and pulled back. We'll look to see if maybe Muncie elects to lay down a bunt here to move the runner up to second base. I won't necessarily call it a squeeze play, call it more of a safety squeeze where if she can get it out far enough, maybe Atwood can score. Now the pitch on the way is going to be swung on and miss, and taking second base on the steal is Hannah Miller, and coming in to score after the throw goes into center field is Charity Atwood, and Chapmanville has cut a 5-run deficit to 2. It's now 6-4, and moving up to third on the play is Hannah Miller.
Hannah Miller, good awareness. She stole to second. The throw was off, and Atwood scored from third, and now they moved Miller to third. So another runner's in score, just a few feet away from the plate. And if Muncie can just put the ball in the outfield, Bill, we got a 1-run ball game.
Well, now nobody out. Runner at third. 0-2 the count to Emma Muncie, as Muncie was swinging, so that must have been a design hit and run to stay out of the double play. Now the infield in for Wyoming East, nobody out. Pitch on the way is taken for a ball. 1-2 now the count, and Chapmanville with the tying run in the batter's box, and the potential go-ahead run is in the on-deck circle. Should Emma Muncie reach base, Chapmanville could have the tying run on base. So 1-2 the count. Pitch on the way is swung on and fouled out of play. Count remains 1-2.
And the ball comes right back at us. But Bill, if you're Muncie, the best place you want to put this ball is right over the pitcher's head. There is a big gap between second and short, and that could end up being a big momentum spark right here of Muncie if she can get this base hit for the Tigers.
Pitch is swung on and fouled again, and 1-2 remains the count as Muncie is fighting off pitch after pitch, staying alive in the count. We'll see if she can get a pitch here that she can drive. Again, a fly ball could make this a 1-run ball game. A base hit definitely makes it a 1-run game. 1-2 on the way, and the pitch is low. 2-2 now the count, and the throw back down hits Hannah Miller, but Miller is back safely.
Right now, just Muncie's getting her instruction from Coach Hooten. Just put the ball in play. Score the runner from third, and we'll work from there.
2-2 on the way, and it's swung on, hit in the right field. We'll see if this will get the job done as the right fielder, Monroe, makes the play. The throw's not going to be in time, and the Tigers now trail 6-5 is coming in to score. On the sacrifice fly is Hannah Miller.
And Muncie did her job. She got the ball in play. She hit it out deep enough to score the runner from third. And now we've
got an appeal on the play. Wyoming East is saying Hannah Miller left the bag early. Former coach Randy Robinette, now umpire, is coming in to talk to George Chafin about what he saw. And now this Chapmanville crowd and Wyoming East crowd awaits the call as the umpires still having a conversation, and conversation is still going on. So now the only question is, did she or did she not leave early? And Coach Robinette, Randy Robinette, former coach again, I always know him as Coach Robinette, but now the umpire, Randy Robinette, says the tag was clean and Millard does score. So now Chapmanville trails 6-5 after the sac fly from Emma Muncie.
I've always known as Coach Robinette. I had him in class at Logan High School, but to me, it looked like Miller was on the base as soon as the ball was caught. But again, they just wanted to be aware, just check it over, go over between the two, and now that's going to bring up Parks and see what she can continue this spark for Chapmanville.
Parks is 0 for 2 and takes the pitch out of the zone. 0-1 the count to Lakin Parks, the left fielder for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers, as Parks takes a ball high. 1-1 the count. Parks, the potential tying run for the Tigers, looking to reach base. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Chapmanville has 4 runs in on 3 hits. Pitch on the way, and swung on and popped out of play. 1-2 the count.
Lord, we're lucky that there's a cage right here, because I don't know how many times I've lost count after like 9. The ball has bounced back right at us at this field. But yep, Parks, she just knows that she's got to stay alive, try to get on base. And if you're Brim, just want to try to take the momentum back from Chapmanville and get a strikeout here.
Pitch is swung on, popped up on the infield to shortstop, calls everybody off, and Emma Simpson will make the play for out number 2. And Brooke Christian, the batter, Christian is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles.
And right now, Christian, she knows her batting right now would be huge for Chapmanville here in the bottom of the 4th. They cut the 5-run lead now down to 1. Can Brooke Christian, who's 2 for 2 today, continue this streak for Chapmanville here in the 4th inning?
Christian with a home run cut comes up empty, 0-1 to count. She was trying to tie the game with one swing of the bat. Now pitch on the way is a ball, 1-1 to count. And Chapmanville has done a very good job of this inning. One thing that I've noticed, Daniel, in this inning is that the Chapmanville hitters have not chased out of the zone swinging at Peyton Brim's pitches. They have made Brim come to them, and that's what's produced the 4 runs in this inning, as Christian swings and misses at a 1-1 offering to count 1-2 now to Brooke Christian. And Brim set, the pitch on the way, swung on a miss on a slow changeup, and that will end the inning as Brim gets her 5th strikeout. But damage done in the Chapmanville home half of the 4th. They played 4 runs on 3 hits, leave no one on base. 4 innings in the books from Ronnie Mule Uten Field in Chapmanville. Wyoming East leads Chapmanville 6-5. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Chapmanville, West Virginia. We move to the top of the 5th. 6-5, Wyoming East leading. And Lindsey Mullins, the designated player for the Wyoming East Warriors, in the batter's box behind in the count 1-2. And the offering from Atwood is grounded to second. And there is Emma Muncie to field and throw to Aaron Aggins and retire. The leadoff hitter, the Wyoming East leadoff hitter for the Daniel, it's the first time that Wyoming East has failed to get the lead batter on base.
And right now, if you're Chapmanville, you gotta love to see that. First batter, she goes down on a 4-3 play, and now it's gonna bring up Pritchard and see if Chapmanville can try to sit her down to get closer back into the dugout.
Pritchard 0 for 1, struck out in a 3rd inning and walked and scored. back in the second inning, 6-5. Wyoming East leading Chapmanville. Chapmanville just played at 4 runs in the fourth inning. This is a big shutdown inning because, as that bunt attempt is foul, 0-2 now the count to Chloe Pritchard. You got Wyoming East on the ropes now. Peyton Brim, who was breezing through 3 innings, only allowed one run, gave up 4 in that 4-run fourth, and now Chapmanville's got the momentum, and the best way to keep the momentum is retire Wyoming East as quickly as you can and get those bats back in the dugout. 1-2 on, or the 0-2 on the way, taking for a ball, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, and this is where you want to get that start, is the bottom of the lineup with Mullins and Pritchard. You already sat down Mullins, you want to sit down Pritchard, and now try to sit down Simpson with her next appearance. But right now Atwood is settling in, and she's doing a pretty good job on the mound.
Pitching the dart as a ball, 2-2 the count to Chloe Pritchard. Pritchard fell behind 0-2 in the count. Now she's worked back to even the count, 2-2. Pitch on the way, swung on a miss. That is strikeout number 4 for Charity Atwood. Out number 2, and Daniel, a big out because now the top of the lineup is coming up, and nobody on base with 2 outs.
Yeah, no one on base, and this is the, like you said earlier, 1 through 5 for Wyoming East are aggressive hitters, and they want to try to continue this spark they had in previous and keep it going for the for the Warriors.
First pitch swung on and fouled off the netting down the left field line, 0-1 the count to Emma Simpson, who is 2 for 2. She had a RBI back in the 3rd inning and walked and scored back in the 1st inning, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a walk, RBI, and a run scored. And pitch is in the dirt, 1-1 now the count.
That ball just got away from Atwood. She tried to get her to chase low on maybe just a low ball right there. So maybe her just breaking ball just broke a little sooner than what she wanted. But right now, if you're just Atwood, you're in good shape. You don't need to rush anything. Just try to get out Simpson right here.
1-1 is swung on and fouled down the third baseline. 1-2 now the count, and Atwood 1 pitch away from getting out. Or 1 pitch away, I should say, from retiring the Wyoming East Warriors for the first time this evening. 1-2 on the way, and it's outside. 2-2 now the count.
She misses on the outside there. Tried to paint that edge just a little bit too far. But if you're Atwood, I'd probably go back to that pitch if you can get her in a full count right here. Try to get her to chase.
2-2 outs, pitch on the way is swung on and hit to the shortstop. That's Murphy. She fields, throws in time to retire the speedy Simpson. And for the first time this evening, the Wyoming East Warriors are retired in order in the top half of the 5th inning. 4.5 in the books. It is Wyoming East leading Chapmanville 6-5. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field, Chapmanville, West Virginia. We moved to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Erica Ziegman with a 1-1 count, awaiting the offering from Brim, and she swings and misses at Brim's 1-1 pitch. It is 1-2.
That was a healthy rip right there. See if she can time that up and get a base hit and start this spark here in the bottom of the 5th for the Tigers.
1-2 on the way, and it's pitch in the dirt. 2-2 the count. As quickly, something I want to correct in our pregame opening. I mentioned Chapmanville was home to Lincoln County. That's actually tomorrow night. The Tigers are on the road tonight at Nitro. The game just underway at Nitro, West Virginia, as that pitch swung on and fouled off the pole in front of us. 2-2 remains the count. Again, Mann and Logan taking part in the Mingo Bay Classic down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hillbillies got things started at 9 a.m. this morning. They were defeated by Buchanan Upshur 10-0 in 6 innings. As pitch on the way is swung on and missed by Ziegman, and that is strikeout number 6 for Brim. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning for Chapmanville. And the batter, Chloe Murphy. Again, Mann defeated 10-0 by Buchanan Upshur in 6 innings. Logan falls to Heritage out of Virginia, out of Leesburg, Virginia, 4-3. So both Mann and Logan starting off their spring break trip to Myrtle Beach with the loss. Both will be back in action tomorrow as Murphy takes a pitch up for a ball. That pitch will glance off of the catcher's glove into the backstop. 2-0 the count.
Yeah, both Logan and Mann, not great starts what you want. Logan had a lead on Heritage, just gave it up on errant throws, and Heritage took a 3-2 lead and didn't look back as they won that one 4-3. Mann just couldn't get out of the gates off of Buchanan Upshur, but hopefully both teams can bounce back tomorrow.
Pitch on the outside corner, 2-1 the count. You mentioned the Mann game. They committed 5 errors, only had 3 hits. Buchanan Upshur just 5 hits in the contest, so both Logan and Mann will look to bounce back tomorrow as the 2-1 to Murphy on the way is inside for a called strike. 2-2 the count. Good pitch by Peyton Brim to paint the inside corner and handcuff Chloe Murphy there. 2-2 the count. Pitch swung on, popped up into the outfield. Who wants it? It's the center fielder, Savannah Brim, calling off the left fielder, Chloe Pritchard, for out number 2.
And right now, Chapmanville, this is not what you want. You didn't want to have the first 2 hitters just be sat down by a strikeout and a flyout. But maybe Aaron Atkins can get things started here with 2 outs and try to tie up this ball game for the Tigers.
Well, Aaron Atkins got it going back in the 4th inning with the leadoff single. She was replaced by Michaela Vance, who came around to score. That pitch is off the body of Brim. She has time. She fields and throws, not in time, as Atkins is able to leg it out. And now the concern is Brim, as she took a shot to the midsection. If not her hand, she's kind of hiding out there. She's got her back to us. We don't know if maybe it was the midsection or the hand, but it looked like to me when the ball was off the bat, it hit her in the midsection. It could have caught the hand too, because she had a little bit of trouble, Daniel, trying to pick the ball up to throw it over her, and she's going to come out of the game. And it is indeed her hand that she had trouble with, and you could tell that right off the bat as she tried to pick the ball up but was unable to do so. And we hope that Peyton Brim is okay, don't have to miss an extended period of time for this Wyoming East Warriors club. As you mentioned, 12 players. It's hard enough, and Brim was pitching a good game through 3 innings. She ran into a little bit of trouble back in the 4th inning, gave up 4 runs, and will now have to leave the game after being hit by the line drive off the bat of Aaron Atkins. It'll be her 2nd hit of the contest, and Wyoming East will just bring in the designated player. That's Lindsey Mullins, so Mullins will come into the game to pitch.
That is very just heartbreaking right there for Brim. She did a really good job in the circle today. It's just unfortunate she got hit on the ball that just went right back at her. Really, luckily it hit her near the hand, the midsection area, and not her face. But right. I mean, it's tough that, like you said, for a Wyoming East team that's low on numbers, only have 12 girls dressed today in varsity play, and you just can't afford to have someone go out like that. And bad break there for the Warriors. So now Mullins is going to come in to relieve for Brim, the designated player, so see if she can pick up where Brim left off in this inning with 2 outs. But good hit there by Erin Atkins. She was able to just to get on base. Erin Atkins, when she hit that ball and went right back at Brim, she kind of slowed down a little bit. She was like she's like made it like where everyone was just giving like a little gas sign, like it hit right back at her, and Brim just wasn't able to throw her over in time to get the third out. But right now, Mullins is coming in to relief for Brim and see if she can, like I said, pick up where she left off with low numbers of players for Wyoming Geese today. Even with low numbers, Bill, they're doing a really good job against this Chapmanville Tigers team, having a 1-run lead.
Brim 4 2/3 innings, 4 2/3 innings in the circle. She allowed 7 hits, struck out 6, walked 3. She has given up 5 runs. All 5 runs were earned, but she is responsible for the runner on first base. That's Erin Atkins, who has 2 of those 7 hits for Chapmanville. And that pitch is in the dirt and gets by the catcher, and Atkins will take second base. Now the tying run is at second base for the Lady Tigers, and the batter, Evie Altizer, who walked and scored. Back in the 4th, pitch on the way, swung on and hit into left field for a base hit. But the ball is hit shallow, and Altizer Atkins has to hold at third, so 1st and 3rd for the Tigers, and Charity Atwood, the batter.
Yeah, right now Evie Altizer does her job. She moves Atkins over, and now the dangerous Charity Atwood, who's 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. Can she score the run for Chapmanville and tie it up? And if she can hit a double, she might be able to give Chapmanville the lead against the Warriors.
2 for 2 with an RBI. She had an RBI double to start the 4-run 4th for the Tigers. Pitch on the way from Mullins, swung on and fouled off the screen to her right. 0-1 the count.
Luckily, there is a screen there. I'm going to keep saying that. Luckily, there is a screen there. Don't hit us. But right now, if you're Atwood, you just got to focus in. She's the 2 outs here in the inning. She's got runners at the corners. Just need to put the ball past the pitcher, past the infield, and tie up this game and make it a brand new ball game here for Chapmanville and Wyoming Geese.
Pitch to Atwood on the way, swung on and hit into center field. It's hit on the wall, and it will leave the yard for a 3-run home run. Charity Atwood has put the Tigers on top, 8-6. She got all of that pitch, Daniel, and she was up in front of the box as far as she could get, waiting on that offering from Mullins. That ball was gone as soon as it touched the bat. She got the pitch that she wanted. She loved where it was placed, and she sent that ball yard. And like you said, Bill, one swing of a bat can change everything for the Tigers, and it did with Charity Atwood, who came in. And just think about it, Bill. She wasn't even the designated player for them. They were going to go with Perry, but when they brought Perry out of the game and replaced her with Atwood, Atwood stepped in, and Atwood she has came up clutch. Bill, she's a triple away from the cycle. And she first at bat was in the 2nd innings. That pitch is taken for a ball by Hannah Miller. And this is, just the advantages of having more than one pitcher. And, Coach Ronnie Ooten, as the pitch, we'll get to that point in a minute, that pitch is taken for a ball, 2-0 the count. Latasha Perry has been good in the circle for the Tigers all year. Today, Wyoming East just came out and was aggressive in the count. And Perry didn't do anything wrong. She pitched to contact. Wyoming East just started finding the hits as that pitch is grounded foul just outside the third base bag. So 2-1 the count. Perry came in, did her job, pitched to contact. It's just unfortunately Wyoming East was finding the holes in the Chapmanville defense, finding the gaps and dropping the hits in, and they were able to chase Perry after an inning plus. And Atwood's come in, done a job holding them at bay as the pitch on the way, 2-1, swung on and hit past the shortstop into left center field, and it's going to get to the fence, and Hannah Miller is motoring around the bases. She rounds second. She's heading for third. The throw not in time as the throw was high from the left fielder, Chloe Pritchard, and that throw, because it was high, brought the third baseman, Carly Carly Ray off the bag, and as she went up to catch the ball, it allowed Miller to slide in safely with a triple, and the inning continues for Chapmanville.
Right now, we're seeing that ball hit out of the park by Atwood has just gave Chapmanville brand new life in this inning as they've taken the lead. And then Miller, she comes in with a hit, just got away from the left fielder, and she took advantage of it, taking all the way to third. And now the top of the lineup for Chapmanville. See if Muncie can continue this bottom of the fifth rally for Chapmanville.
Pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 the count to Emma Muncie, the leadoff batter for the Chapmanville Tigers, as the Tigers now with 10 hits in the contest, as Muncie is looking for her first hit. She had a sacrifice back in the first, and that ball was going to play off third baseman, but she will have plenty of time as Carly Ray kept the ball in front of her and is able to retire. Emma Muncie at first base for the final out of the fifth inning, but the Chapmanville Tigers do some damage. They play 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave a runner left on base. And now, after 5 innings, Chapmanville now leads Wyoming East 8-6. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Chapmanville, West Virginia. We move to the top half of the 6th inning, and Kaylee Bain, Savannah Brim, Andrea Laxton, 2, 3, 4 in the Wyoming East lineup due up, and for the first time today, Wyoming East trails. Chapmanville has played 7 runs in the last 2 innings. They now lead 8-6 in a game that they once trailed 6-1, as Brim will take a pitch inside, and that will be ball 4 as the count was 3-1. So Bain, will walk down to first base with a leadoff walk, and now Savannah Brim, the batter, and Brim is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, a pair of runs scored, and a strikeout.
Savannah Brim.
Right there, if you're Wyoming East, you got off to a good start, get a runner on base. That's their last inning, no one got on base, as Atwood throws that one in for a strike. But right now, if you're Wyoming East, this is what you want, to get a runner on base and try to continue get a spark here against the Tigers.
1 to count, and the runner breaks for second, and once again, no communication, as, again, Bain has a stolen base, as late getting to the bag was Murphy and Muncie, and stolen base, runner in scoring position for the Wyoming East Warriors. Again, getting them in scoring position's not been an issue. Getting them in's been the problem for the Warriors. They do have 6 runs in as Brim takes a pitch inside at the knees for a called strike. 1 and 2 the count. Again, they've left 7 runners on base. 5 of them's been left in scoring position. Now they have a 6th in scoring position. Pitch on the way is outside and high. 2 and 2 the count.
And right now, if you're Brim, you get she's two for 3 today with 2 singles. All she would love to do is just continue that and get a single right back up the middle or somewhere to score that run.
Pitch swung on and fouled over the screen, and count remains 2-2.
And that ball was just a little bit low. She fouled it off back behind us. And if you're just Brim, you just got to focus on moving Bain over. As Bain, she's fast out there. She might get a head start jump, so a base hit here can score her.
Pitch in the dirt is taken for a ball, 3-2 the count. And the center fielder, right-handed hitting center fielder for the Warriors, is 1 pitch away from reaching base. 3-2 on its way is ball 4, and a tying run is on base for the Wyoming East Warriors, and Andrea Laxton, the batter, and Laxton is 1 for 2. She has doubled, was hit by the pitch, and has driven in 3 runs.
And right now, Wyoming East, the coach is coming out there talking to Laxton. Just let her know that, hey, you got no outs, you got 2 runners on, you know where to place it. You hit a double the last time, and that was huge for the Wyoming East Warriors. So right now, a big double right here can make this a brand new ball game with Chapmanville taking the momentum from Wyoming East. Can Wyoming East steal it back?
Pitch on the way is taken at the belt for a called strike. 0-1 to count as Laxton was taken all the way on the first pitch. And we've seen Laxton in her last at-bat deliver with an RBI double. She has the potential to put Wyoming East back on top with 1 swing of the bat. And that pitch swung on and fouled off into the third base area of the foul line. And right there is the third baseman, E.B. Altizer, to retire Laxton on the pop-up.
Right there, that's good. That's confidence builder for the freshman Altizer. Last time the ball popped up, it bounced out of her glove. She wasn't able to get it. This time she was able to corral it. And now Olivia Monroe, who's coming up 1 for 1 today on a single and back in the first inning, is her only hit of the ball game.
Yeah, 1 for 2 is Monroe. She flew out. She flew out to shortstop back in the 4th inning. She walked in the 2nd, and she had a 2-run single as part of a 3-run first inning for the Warriors. They got off to a hot start. Pitch on the way, swung on, hit the 2nd. Good play out there by Emma Muncie. Muncie will take the short out at first base, but the runners will move up to 2nd and 3rd as now 2 away. And if Carly Ray can deliver with a single, Wyoming East could tie the game. They trail Chapmanville 8-6.
And that's what you want for Carly Ray. Just focus in on driving in these runners for Wyoming East.
Pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 count. Ray 0 for 3. Flew out to center in the first inning. Popped up to the pitcher in the 2nd and flew out to 3rd in the 4th. 1-0 the count to Ray. Pitch on the way is on the outside corner, I should say. 1-1 the count to Ray.
That was good placement there by Atwood. And Ray, all of her outs have been contact. She just got to make contact and just get one to drop. And then that'll make this a brand new ball game for Wyoming East in Chapmanville.
Swung on, popped up on the infield. Now it's going to get out to center field. And that ball's going to drop for a hit. And Wyoming East is going to tie the contest on the 2-run single from Carly Ray. 8-8 the score.
And right there, that's what she wanted for Ray. She made contact on it. That could have been a routine flyout, but the Chapmanville Tigers just no communication, didn't call it off, couldn't find the ball. It dropped right in front of 2 Lady Tigers. And we got a tie ball game right now, so momentum has shifted back and forth between these 2 teams. Who can secure it and try to get this win?
Pitch swung on and missed by Haley Haggins, who is 0 for 3. a fly out to second in the fourth inning, struck out in the third, and reached on a fielder's choice. Back in the first, but back to that play, Daniel. We'll get to it after this pitch. This pitch is on the outside corner, 0-2 the count. That's one of those tough placements, and Ray just happened to hit it in the right spot. And when it left the bat, it looked like it was going to be a routine fly ball in the infield, but it carried out as the pitch is swung on and hit fouled down the first baseline. Count remains 0-2. Chloe Murphy got a late start, and Hannah Miller, the center fielder, came in, and by the time both of them had converged, it was out there in shallow center field to where Murphy, if she could get a jump on the ball right away, she's probably able to make the catch as the pitch is swung on and hit in between the pitcher and short, and Murphy comes up throwing, but not in time to get the runner, Haley Aggins, who will have an infield single, her first of the game.
That is a just bad fortunate, just the awareness for the Tigers. He rolled between two gloves and was able to get picked up by the shortstop for Chapmanville. And Murphy, she just throwed it late over to first base. And right now, Wyoming East, they got some momentum going with two runners on as runner in scoring position. If they can keep this up, Wyoming East can take the lead.
Lindsay Aggins swings and hits one to third, and Altizer taking herself to the bag to beat the runner Ray to the bag for the third out of the sixth inning. But Wyoming East plates 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 more runners on base. 5.5 innings in the books from Chapmanville, West Virginia. It's Wyoming East 8, Chapmanville 8. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field, Chapmanville, West Virginia, as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Wyoming East plates 2 runs in the top half of the 6th to even this contest at 8 runs apiece. Bill Lusk with you, Daniel Miller alongside with me as my color analyst back in the WVOW studios. We're going to presume that it's Seth Eastep, considering that it's a Monday night, and if it is Seth, or if it's Hunter or Tanner, or whoever we got back in the studios, they always do a good job in keeping us on the air and making sure everything flows smoothly. And we couldn't do this broadcast without them back in our WVOW studios.
Yeah, we always got to thank the guys who keep us on the air, and they do a wonderful job just keeping us up to date with everything going on, and we couldn't be more appreciative of them. They're always the heavy hitters for us. We've seen some heavy hits today between Chapmanville and Wyoming East, but they're the true heavy hitters back in the WVOW studio. And Bill, later on tonight, we got the national championship for the NCAA. We saw one champion crowned last night yesterday with LSU Lady Tigers shutting down Caitlin Clark. Well, really didn't shut her down.
But she had 30 points.
30 points, but I mean, what can you do when LSU is putting up 102, which set a record? But tonight, you got the underdog, San Diego State, who had the best game-winning shot of the tournament, the only buzzer beater of the tournament, and they take on the heavily high favorite. Just that program, you just every time you look through and just think about basketball, they're always there at the Final Four, the UConn Huskies. Bill, just give me your quick thoughts. Who do you think is going to win that one? I'm honestly just going to put my bet on UConn just because of the historic program that has been built down in Storrs, Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't doubt it one bit. UConn has been dominant in this tournament. They've won every game by double digits. 13 points, I think, was their lowest victory total. We saw what they did in the regional final to Gonzaga. That was a good Gonzaga team, and they made puppy chow out of the Bulldog. I'll just put it that way to you. They literally went right at Drew Timme, attacked him, got him in foul trouble, and Gonzaga had no answer. Miami's had a great run in this NCAA tournament, and they just were no match for UConn and San Diego State. Great story that they are. I mean, you look back to the 2020 NCAA tournament, they had a great run going. I think they were something like 26, 27, 29, and 2. They were ranked up there, and again, that 2020 NCAA tournament was shaping to be up like this year's tournament as we'll get back to action here in the top half of the sixth inning with Lakin Parks leading all Parks 0 for 3 in this contest. But that 2020 NCAA tournament may have been a mid-major Final Four because there was a lot of blue bloods and a lot of Power 5 conferences that were having issues as Parks fouls off that pitch 1-1 to count. I mean, it could have been the NCAA tournament that Dayton and Obi Topping could have cut down the nets, but for some reason, when the tournament's in Texas, when the Final Four's in Texas, UConn seems to find their way to the Final Four and win it. And I think they've won 4 national titles or going for their 5th. And as Parks takes the ball 2-1 to count, pitch on the way, his ball 3 in the dirt, 3-1 now to count. But point that I'm getting at about UConn, they've won 4 titles. I don't think they need to win the title tonight to be anointed a blue blood with the Kansases and the Kentuckys and the Dukes and the Carolinas and the UCLAs and the Indianas. I don't think they have to win that title tonight. I think they're already in that, but that title will definitely anoint them as one of college basketball's blue bloods as Parks draws a leadoff walk. And Chapmanville has to go ahead and run her on base.
Christian.
Yeah, that is what you mentioned with UConn. I think they're blue blood. But right now, good start for Chapmanville off in this inning. They get a runner on with a walk. And right now, if you're just Brooke Christian, put the barrel to the ball and move her over to try to get her in scoring position.
Pitch swung on and going to be looped into left field and past a diving left fielder, Chloe Pritchard, who was trying to make a diving catch on the play and prevent it from going in left field. Now an errant throw gets by, and the throw will allow Parks to score. And now Wyoming East throws it around, and a double by Brooke Christian turns in to a Little League inside the park home run.
That's just bad. We were just talking about the unawareness for both teams for Chapmanville with just the playman, but now good awareness for Chapmanville on the base paths. They took advantage of a ball that went past the left fielder, and no one was covering the plate or home plate. Miller comes in and scores, and then right behind her is Parks comes in to score, and then right behind her is Christian. And right now, if you're Chapmanville, you got to be happy with what you're doing right now. They go up 2 runs on Wyoming East, and those could be the deciding runs that ends this game next inning if Chapmanville can keep it up here at the bottom of the 6th.
So 10-8 Chapmanville leads. Eric Zimmerman, the catcher, coming to the plate. In fact, we have a pitch hitter in the lineup for the Chapmanville Tigers, and that is Jocelyn Arthur, the pitch hitter. Pitch hitting for Sigmund is Arthur. And the pitch on the way is swung on and hit the third. Good play by the third baseman, Ray, who fields in time throw to Laxton to get Arthur and retire the Tiger pitch hitter for the first out at the bottom of the 6th inning.
Arthur was coming up, her first appearance at the plate to just hit the ball, try to get it past get it out of the infield, and good snag there by the third base. So Wyoming East ready to throw over to first to get that first out. A big first out now for the Warriors.
Murphy, the batter, swings and fouls a pitch off. 0-1 the count to Chloe Murphy. And again, back to the play. Brooke Christian hits a ball off the end of the bat. It is a slow sinking line drive as that pitch is taken inside by Murphy for a strike. 0-2 the count. The left fielder for Wyoming East, Chloe Pritchard, makes an attempt at a dive, and as she's making the dive, the ball kicks away from her as Murphy takes a ball up high, 1-2 count. Well, I shouldn't say the ball kicks away from her. The ball slices away from her. It falls and gets down. Murphy or Parks on the play advances to third. Christian takes second. It's a double for Christian, and then the throw from Pritchard eludes the third baseman and the shortstop. It gets to the backstop, allows Parks to score the go-ahead run, put Chapmanville up 9-8, and Christian comes in to score as the catcher makes an errant throw back to the pitcher, and it goes up the first baseline, allowing her to score. And now Murphy is hit by the 1-2 offering, and she will take her base and be on for the first time this evening.
Yeah, Mullins just laid that pitch to Murphy, and now Atkins coming back up to the plate. Her last two at bats, she got 2 singles. Can she continue that hot streak for the Tigers and get another single, making her 3rd straight single and moving moving Murphy over into scoring position and try to add on to this 10-8 lead for the Tigers?
26, Aaron Atkins.
Aaron Atkins, the batter for the Chapmanville Lady Tigers. She is 2 for 3. She struck out back in the 2nd inning, but since then she singled and scored in the 4th, singled and scored in the 5th. Now she gets a hold of a pitch and will hit it over the left fielder's head, and she'll be on base for the 3rd time. She will scoot in for the double, and scoring on the play is Chloe Murphy. Murphy never stopped on the play and will come around the score from first base. Chapmanville has an insurance run. It's now 11-8.
Yeah, Murphy, she didn't even hesitate. Even though she looked like she was running out of wind right there, she just kept on going, and she was able to get beat out the third home. And Atkins coming up big with her 3rd straight hit of the ball game. Now can Evie Altizer bring her in from second?
So it is a run-scoring double to put Chapmanville up 11-8 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Altizer checks her swing and fouls a pitch off. 0-1 to count to Altizer as the bottom of this Chapmanville lineup has come through. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming through for the Tigers this afternoon. Pitch is outside and off the glove of the catcher, but no advancement by Atkins at second base. 1-1 to count.
A good hold up by Altizer. She saw that ball just getting away from her, and good job by Bain not letting that ball get way past her to keep Atkins there at second. But can Altizer just get that base hit and move Atkins over to third?
1-1 on the way is taken high for a ball. 2-1 now the count to Altizer. Daniel, this Chapmanville lineup has 12 hits in the contest. 8 of them from the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Atkins with 3 hits. Altizer with a hit. Perry with 2 hits, a double and a home run, and 4 RBIs. And Hannah Miller with a pair of hits, an RBI single, and a triple. So the bottom of the lineup coming through for the Lady Tigers when they've needed them the most.
Yeah, when they needed them, they came up clutch. They were down 6-1 in this game, and then they sparked off a rally, scoring 7 unanswered. I think it's 7. And then Wyoming East tied it up at 8, and then Chapmanville now grabbed the 3-run lead and see if they can keep this up with Altizer with only 1 out in this inning.
2-1 to count to E.B. Altizer. Mound visit over, and the pitch is taken on the inside. 2-2. Now the count to Altizer. And what those, you look back on it, Daniel, what those hits done for Chapmanville, what that double does is it now makes those runs that the Tigers scored as Altizer takes pitch outside. 3-2 now the count. Those runs that Chapmanville scored on those throwing errors now become earned runs because you go back and replay the inning. That pitch is inside for a called third strike. It nearly hits Altizer, and Altizer is retired for the first time since the second inning when she flew out. That is the first strikeout for Mullins, and it's out number 2 in the home half of the 6th for the Chapmanville Tigers.
Altizer did not like that. She thought it was a ball, but the umpire said no, it's a strike, and now with 2 outs, can Wyoming East get this third out and try to move it back into the top of the 7th?
That's a dangerous Perry, and she grounds to third, and that pitch nearly pulls the first baseman off the bag, but the first baseman is able to hold her ground and step on the bag to retire Perry for the first time this evening. Perry was 3 for 3 before that ground out. 6 innings in the books from Chapmanville, West Virginia. The Tigers lead the Warriors 11-8. Can Chapmanville close it out and pick up win number 4 on the season? Find out next on WBOW. And you're listening to Lady Tiger Softball on WBOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Go to the top half of the 7th inning. Last call for the Wyoming East Warriors. They need 3 runs to tie as Chapmanville leads 11-8. And 9-1-2. Chloe Pritchard, Emma Simpson, Kaylee Bain due up for the Warriors. And 1-1 to count to Pritchard, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts and a walk and a run scored back in the second inning. And she's ahead in the count 2-1.
Yeah, that was 2-1. I thought she laid down the bunt, but I didn't think she bore back in time, but it's 2-1. And she finishes right here to try to get Wyoming East on the base path.
Swing and a miss, 2-2 now to count. And this would be a very big first out, as most of the Warriors' production has come from the top of the lineup as the pitch is up high, 3-2 now to count.
Yeah, full count now for Pritchard, and her job is just to get on base. She's 0 for 1 today on a strikeout, but can she break that strikeout and try to get on base for the Wyoming East Warriors?
Pitch on the way, taken inside corner for a called strike 3, and 1 away for the Warriors in the top half of the 7th inning. Strikeout number 5 for Charity Atwood.
Well, when I said can Pritchard come in, she goes down looking, and that's huge right now. That's out number 1 as we're going to get a courtesy hitter for the Wyoming East Warriors, or pinch hitter.
Emma Simpson is the batter due up as the pitch is outside. That is Simpson indeed. Simpson is the batter.
Now batting number 5.
She is
Simpson.
2 for 3. She grounded out in her last plate appearance back in the 6th inning, grounded out to short. Before then, she has singled in the 3rd, singled in the 2nd, scored, and now she lines out to second baseman Emma Muncie, who will just stick the glove out and make the catch. 2 away, and the Wyoming East Warriors down to their final out.
Yeah, I wrote down Simpson's wrong number. I guess right now, Kaylee Bain, she's been the heart and soul of this team. She's 2 for 3 today on a single and a double and a fly out. Can she come in and keep this, try to keep the rally going with 2 outs for Wyoming East?
Pitch on the way is up high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Kaylee Bain. As you know, we mentioned about the national championship game, as pitch on the way is low. 2-0 the count. Immediately following our broadcast of Chapmanville Lady Tigers softball, we will have coverage of the national championship game, San Diego State and UConn on Westwood 1, and the action can be heard right here on WVOW. 3-0 now the count to Bain.
And right there, that's what you want for Bain, try to get ahead in the count. And I figure she would have the red light right now.
Pitch on the way is ball 4, and the Warriors stay alive for at least one more at bat as Bain draws a 2-out walk. Bain now 2 for 3, pair of walks and a run scored, and an RBI double. Back in the second inning, Savannah Brim, the batter. Brim is 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored and a pair of singles. Pitch is swung on and fouled. 0-1 to count to Savannah Brim.
Savannah Brim's looking to try to just get a base hit here and keep this rally going with Lakin Parks coming up Laxton coming up the bat after Brim. But right now, if you're Brim, just looking to get a hit and keep it alive.
Swung on and hit into left field. Left fielder is on it, and in the foul territory is Lakin Parks to retire the Wyoming East Warriors and give the Chapmanville Lady Tigers their 4th win of the season. It's Chapmanville, an 11-8 winner over Wyoming East. We'll be back to recap it and set the stage for our next high school softball broadcast on WVOW. And once again, Chapmanville defeats Wyoming East 11-8. This is Lady Tiger Softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Welcome back to Ronnie Mule Uten Field on the campus of Chapmanville High School, where the Chapmanville Lady Tigers are victorious tonight over the Wyoming East Lady Warriors, 11-8, the final score tonight, as the Tigers improve to 4-2 on the year. Wyoming East drops to 5-4. Daniel, thoughts?
Right now, this game, honestly, the only thing I can say, this game just basically lived up to the hitting hype. Both teams were connecting, getting base runs, getting some hits, high-scoring game, 11-8. Chapmanville comes away with a victory. You just got to give credit to both of these teams, especially Wyoming East. I mean, they had the 6-1 lead. Chapmanville fought their way back, ended up taking the lead, 8-6. Wyoming East tied it up at 8-all, but then Chapmanville just went on a spark, scored 3 runs, and that was the difference to win this game for Chapmanville. As both teams just they were just hitting the ball good, but again, big shout out to Wyoming East because they only had 12 girls on the roster, and they were able to put up these runs against Chapmanville. And Chapmanville, they can use this win as a building block going into their next games down the stretch, as they need this, as this will help for seeding, beating a pretty good power a AA team in Wyoming East. But right now, if you're just Chapmanville, you just got to be happy you got the win and just keep on moving forward into the season with key matchups coming down the road, and especially one coming up later this week.
Yeah, that happens to be our next broadcast on these WVOW airwaves Thursday evening, 5:30 p.m. First pitch between the Chapmanville Lady Tigers and the number 2 ranked Class AA Lady Wildcats of Logan. Lady Wildcats making some moves up in the poll, especially after defeating Herbert Hoover 8-0 on Saturday afternoon. So the Lady Wildcats off to a good start. They've won 3 in a row. They're now 6-2, and they are now number 2 in Class AA behind the Winfield Lady Generals, who are number 1. So that'll be our next broadcast, 5:20 pregame, 5:30 first pitch from B. Orr Field. Tonight it's Chapmanville victorious, 11 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 6 runners left on base for Wyoming East. 8 runs, 11 hits, 4 errors, and 8 runners left on base. Again, 6 of those 8 runners were left in scoring position for the Wyoming East Warriors. I'm sure they'd like to have some of them runners back, especially when they got out to the 6-1 lead. They just couldn't go for that knockout blow and get those runs to where they could make make Chapmanville pay for make Chapmanville pay for some of the communication mistakes that they had out in the field. But again, this was a Wyoming East team in their last game fell behind. Or this was a Wyoming East team in their last game against Greenbrier East, jumped out to a 4-0 lead. The first 5 batters reached base against Greenbrier East. Fast forward to the night, and the same thing happens. Only difference was Wyoming East played at 3 runs after the first 5 batters reached base and not 4. But Greenbrier East settled down in that game, came back and defeated Wyoming East 13-6. Tonight, Wyoming East looked like they were on their way to a 6-1. They were leading 6-1. They looked like they were well on their way to a win. And then Chapmanville plates 4 runs in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. Wyoming East comes back and ties it in the 6th. But in the bottom of the 6th, Chapmanville plates 3 runs to secure the 11-8 win for their 4th win of the year, as the winning pitcher for the Chapmanville Tigers is Charity Atwood in relief tonight. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, I should say. She gets the win tonight for Chapmanville, and the loss goes to Lindsey Mullins in relief. Mullins, 1 1/3 inning, gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. She hit a batter, she walked a batter, and she struck out a batter. And she was in relief of Peyton Brim, who, Daniel, I think that's more than likely where this game turned in the 5th inning with 2 outs. Brim was hit on a line drive off the bat of Aaron Haggins and had to leave the game.
Yeah, that was just a bad break for Wyoming East. Brim, she was settled in. She at one time she struck out 3 in a row for against Chapmanville, and then when she just got hit back on that ball that just went right back at her. I mean, there was nothing harsh or just dirty against it. It was just a ball that just came right off the back and just hit right back towards her. She ended up holding her hand. It looked like she got her in the midsection, but she may have used her hand to try to block her midsection there. And from then on out, they went and pitched Mullins, who was the designated player for Wyoming East, and then in for Brims. They had to bring her in, and that's where Chapmanville just took advantage of it. They were able to capitalize on that, and excuse me. And Wyoming East, you just got to be excuse me, I'm choking up right now. But for Chapmanville, you just got to be happy how it just went your way when it mattered the most.
Yeah, that line drive happened to hit Graham's pitching hand as Chapmanville was able to plate 6 runs after that and come out here with the 11-8 win. Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. For our studio engineer, Seth Eastep, back in the WVOW studios, for my color broadcast partner, Daniel Miller, I'm Bill Lux, saying once again, your final score from Ronnie Mule-Houghton Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. It is Chapmanville 11, Wyoming East 8. You've been listening to Chapmanville Lady Tiger softball, and we hope you can join us Thursday evening as Chapmanville takes on Logan. Pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 7:20. Right now, what we're going to do, we're going to send it out to Westwood 1 for coverage of the national championship game. San Diego State and the University of Yukon, live from the Lone Star State out in Texas. Once again, this has been Bill Lusk, and thank you for listening to Chapmanville Lady Tiger softball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports